Hello. My journey to spiritual enlightenment started in earnest when I was gifted this eagle feather. The reason I was gifted this feather was as a thank you for teaching my partner at the time how to survive in the white man's world when I was living in New Westminster, British Columbia. His mother sent two feathers plucked off of the same eagle, one for him and one for me. These feathers tie us together. And even though we do not speak now, we are still tied together by this feather and the one that he carries. After I received this feather, I got a call from George, my lifelong friend, who was beginning his journey towards death, living with HIV and AIDS. And he asked for my help. I was in BC, he was in Nova Scotia. So I started preparing, getting the truck ready to drive across Canada so I could get to Nova Scotia to find a way to help my friend, one of my first friends. So once I get on the road, the first thing we had to do was cross the Rocky Mountains on our way to the reserve that my partner was from. While we were crossing the Rocky Mountains, we came across a lookout. So we pulled onto that lookout, walked over to the edge where I seen a cedar tree that was growing up the side of the mountain. The top of that cedar tree was just at the lookout. So that so I reached over the top. I reached out and plucked some cedar off of the top of that tree. That was an amazing thing. I have no idea why I plucked that cedar off the top of that tree. But I plucked that cedar off the top of that tree and put it in the truck and continued on to the reserve where his mother was. Once we got to that reserve, his mother asked for the feather that she had given me, this feather. And while I was there over the next several days, she beaded this feather for me, put prayers into this feather. I could only guess that they were prayers of thanks for teaching her son how to survive in the white man's world. While we were there, we also went over to his sister's house on another reserve. And while we were there at his sister's house, he took 4 braids of sweetgrass that she had hanging in the basement and gave them to me for that journey. The one thing he told me about this feather and the sweetgrass is he said, never shake the sweetgrass. Keep it going by waving the feather. So whenever I hold this feather, I don't shake the sweetgrass to honor that teaching that he gave me. So we finished our time together. Then it was time to get on the road. So we pulled into his mother's driveway. We're preparing things to get on the road. And she sent her youngest grandson out with this feather to give me a hug and a kiss and hand me this feather that was beaded. I cried right then and there. And started on my journey across Canada, driving to Nova Scotia. As I was driving, different things were happening. I could tell I was smudging with this sweetgrass and feather as I was going across. I started seeing things. I started seeing things in a little bit of a different way. When I got to just outside of Kenora, Ontario, I seen a moose dead on the side of the road with half of his head ripped off. Must have been struck by an 18-wheeler. I had no idea about traditionalism or what it was. But for some reason, I went over to that moose. I prayed for his trip to the spirit world and gave it the cedar that I had plucked off the top of that cedar tree. Why I did that, I have no idea. But I did it and then continued on my way. As I was driving across, I was having many experiences that were driven by this feather. Finally, I got to my mom's trailer at a beach just outside of the town of Pictou. When I pulled in, my godmother, my aunt, seen this feather hanging from the rearview mirror and seen the sweetgrass sitting on the dash of the truck. So she went to my mother and she said, "If you never listen to me again, listen to me now. And you support that boy in picking up that sweetgrass and eagle feather, because that's how he'll find his way to deal with this disease that he's living with." Later on that day, my mother sat down with me and told me that my grandfather identified as Indigenous. Later on, when my father arrived, he told me that his great-grandmother was the medicine woman for Stephenville Crossing. This started the whole journey.